Welcome to the week at IGAD. My name is Iman Haji. This week, IGAD's work spanned diplomacy, refugee inclusion, trade, digital transformation, early warning, and regional cooperation. In Djibouti, IGAD urged calm after reports of violence in Mogadishu amid rising political tensions in Somalia. The organization called for restraint and dialogue to help preserve stability and keep Somalia's state-building efforts on track. In Addis Ababa, the IGAD Executive Secretary His Excellency Dr. Workneh Gebeyehu co-chaired the annual partnership meeting with Sweden alongside Ambassador Magnus Lennartsson. Their exchange centered on peacebuilding, resilience, regional integration, and sustainable development across the IGAD region. In Djibouti, the IGAD Executive Secretary His Excellency Dr. Workneh Gebeyehu met Ambassador Sam Fabrizi for discussions on regional peace and security. They also looked at ways to revive the IGAD Partners Forum and strengthen development cooperation across the region. On World Ocean Day, IGAD renewed its call to protect marine and coastal ecosystems across the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Western Indian Ocean. Through its Blue Economy agenda, the organization continued to promote ocean conservation, coastal resilience, and sustainable livelihoods. In Naivasha, IGAD and Kenya's Department of Refugee Services opened a workshop for legislators and policymakers on refugee protection and inclusion. The training supported Kenya's Sharika plan and encouraged settlement approaches that work for both refugees and host communities. In Djibouti, the IGAD Executive Secretary bade farewell to Ambassador Mikhail Golovanov of the Russian Federation and thanked him for his cooperation and engagement with the region. In Washington, D.C., Ambassador Musa Megag led IGAD's delegation to the Fragility Forum 2026 on behalf of the Executive Secretary. The forum brought together policymakers and development partners to share lessons and examine responses to conflict, fragility, and instability. In Djibouti, IGAD joined a coordination meeting of regional economic communities, regional mechanisms, and Ayuda NEPAD chief executives. The engagement helped reinforce cooperation with the African Union and regional partners on integration and shared prosperity across the continent. In Mombasa, the IGAD Leadership Academy, with support from the Government of Japan, launched a leadership program for youth and women across the region. The initiative aimed to build skills, strengthen regional networks, and encourage greater participation in governance and peacebuilding. In Nairobi, IGAD's Director of Economic Cooperation and Regional Integration joined senior partners from Smart Africa, UNESCO, and the East African Community for discussions on digital transformation and data governance and innovation. In Nairobi, with the support of the World Bank, IGAD member states met to validate the draft guidelines on informal cross-border trade statistics. The process was intended to improve harmonized trade data, support evidence-based policymaking, and advance regional integration under the African Continental Free Trade Area. In Djibouti, the IGAD Executive Secretary congratulated Somali referee Omar Artan on his appointment to officiate a major European football match, describing the milestone as an inspiration for young people across the region. In Nairobi, the IGAD Climate Prediction and Application Center received a delegation from the International Rescue Committee to discuss cooperation on multi-hazard monitoring, disaster risk management, and anticipatory action. In Bishoftu, IGAD concluded its first internal coordination workshop for the European Union-funded Regional Stabilization Project in the Horn of Africa. The workshop brought implementing teams together to agree on a common roadmap for peace, security, preventive diplomacy, and regional stability. That concludes this edition of the Week at IGAD. Until next week.